Hello, truth seekers. Welcome back to Life, Liberty, and Hines with me, Brian Hines, your host. This is the 6th of March, 2025, and this is also episode 107 of said podcast. A couple days ago, Tuesday, we had our President of the United States address Congress. I believe I talked about this on one of these here 106 episodes that State of the Union. Now, like next year, there's going to be another one of these incidences where President Trump is up there in front of Congress, flapping his gums and stuff. It's what they do. I think it was since the beginning, actually. But anyway, I should have checked that out a little bit. But we're all learning. Every day we're learning. But we got to move on. Our second address to Congress, that would otherwise be called State of the Union Address. But being it's the first year, right after taking presidency, for some reason they give it a different name. There's a reason out there, and you know what? You have the internet access just like I do. But anyway, and I only have a half hour. Trump was up there, saying a bunch of good stuff. I said flapping the gums, but it's just terminology. It's not that he was saying bad stuff. He's up there and talking about a lot of good stuff. And brings up a 13-year-old kid gets the Secret Service, and Democrats hate on everything going on. I mean, Trump said it himself. He said that it doesn't matter what he said, Democrats would continue to be grumpy, miserable liberals. And they were. At the beginning, we had one person escorted out, and now it even looks like the multiple Democrats are looking to get him expelled, something like that. I believe I just reposted the article that I read right before I turned this on to do the show. So, anyway, not only a bunch of GOP/Republicans, but multiple Democrats are looking to kick this rude individual out, which, throughout the rest of the address to Congress, Democrats were quiet. It was pretty peaceful. This is my point here. That was like the only thing that was different. Different from what you say. Different from the other 3 State of the Union addresses and 1 address to Congress. What I say is, we just had a 5th rerun. Some actors are different. President Trump being up there in that spot talking to these clowns in front of him, otherwise known as Congress members. You can go back, look at the one from 2017, 18, 19, 20. Then you can look at the one from 2 days ago. You can find a lot of similarities. Except between the one 4 years ago in 2020 and the one today, or 2 days ago, we know a lot more stuff. We do. Patriots. It's 4 years. What did you learn in the last 4 years? A lot. So why was this particular address to Congress so similar to all the others? It was alright. A lot of people saying it was good. But, well, of course, the left is probably not saying it was good at all, but I really don't listen to them anymore. They're unimportant. But I think this particular address to Congress should have had a little more meat in it. Or a lot more meat in it. Just saying. It's a little weak. Get on to this here stuff. Trump signed an executive order making English the official language. Huh. See now. Of course, there's going to be liberals, leftists, wackos out there complaining about this, protesting or whatever. But it is the language that our official founding documents are written in. So therefore, it would make it the official language. And a whole bunch of foreigners that have some other language, just because they might speak that here, doesn't make it our language. Now, we should have never had to make it law. For now, it's just an executive order. We know this. But for it to be converted into law, which I think we're better off just going back to constitutional law than making more laws that go back to the Constitution. But anyway, what this does is all DMVs, all government, anything, doesn't have to have, whether it's pamphlets or something on the internet, they only have to have it in one language. So, if you see something in government in 2 languages, that means they're still a little too liberal in that department. Yep. But executive order making English the official language. It's going to save lots of tax dollars on many different things throughout other government organizations, on top of making them small. We move on to, started seeing it recently. I mean, I think that one of these here politicians is going to be getting publicly arrested, cuffed and stuffed, as Roscoe P. Coltrane would say. Yeah. But recently I've been seeing stuff about, like, good evidence about stuff that Schiff's done, stuff that Schumer's done. Comes like in spurts. And then very recently, before the address to Congress, for a couple days, I've seen a bunch of stuff coming out about crooked Hillary and Hussein Obama and them sending Ambassador Stevens over to Benghazi to be murdered. Yeah. Right before the address to Congress, I was like, I wonder if this is like a precursor. Nope, guess not. Because Trump didn't mention any of that. But I'm pretty sure that there's enough evidence compiled, already gathered, not no investigation is needed, no, to get Crooked Hillary and Hussein Obama for orchestrating Ambassador Stevens' killing. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I see a lot of stuff on the internet, and for us to know it, and the Department of Justice to not know it, just doesn't make any sense. But that would have made the address to Congress so much better if you would have had, like, some arrest warrants. But one more thing about that address to Congress, because I don't think I have that mentioned anywhere else here. At the very end, Melania Trump, she made like a very concerned or angered face. Maybe a mixture of the two. Don't know what that was about. But we'll keep moving on. Gene Hackman and wife, Betsy, and I believe there was a dog, all found dead in their house. And like pretty shortly after the finding, the authorities said no foul play. They were calling no foul play. But the authorities, as we know, aren't that trustworthy once again. Because a lot of the news outlets out there are talking about, well, it could have been radon poisoning or carbon monoxide poisoning or something like that. But I believe there was one dog that was alive in the house, which is kind of weird. They said something about a doggy door, but I wasn't there. I don't know about no doggy door, and most news outlets lie. Especially if the authorities investigating lied to them. But what's strange is, and isn't talked about by most news authorities, is Gene Hackman was supposed to be the very first witness in the up and coming Epstein case. So, the authorities that basically immediately said no foul play are possibly more people trying to hide liberals' wrongdoings. You know? There's a lot of that stuff. A lot of that stuff. Because there's a lot of wrongdoings. I mean, but pretty odd. Two people and a dog. And it's no foul play. Like, quick like. And anyway, just wanted you to know. More strange coincidences. All I can say is, hopefully the good people, referred to as white hats, hopefully they got there first. And this is just a safe house thing, you know? Protect them until this case trial comes up. This Epstein trial comes up. We gotta move on. Know that. Last week I don't think I had any corrupt judges. I think I had a couple good judges actually, which is very rare for this show. But today, no, we got corrupt Judge William Alsup, Alsup, a Clinton appointee. I mean, that right there would pretty much guarantee the corrupt part. Is interfering with Doge firing probationary employees. Doge trying to save money for us taxpayers. And the judge gets in the way. Now, like, if you owned a business, or I owned a business, and we, like, employed some people, say you employed 200 people, and you figured out some kind of new system that you could get rid of 50 employees. You go and fire, and some dumb judge from the town comes down and says, you can't fire them people. What? So that's what this here corrupt Judge William Alsup is doing. Trying to prevent Doge from firing worthless employees in the government. And first of all, there weren't just any employees. They were probationary employees, like basically like a part-time thing, like a uh, hmm, sometimes you just can't think of the word. You go to those places like Manpower, and they find you a job somewhere. It's only part-time, like you'll work there 3 months, 4 months or something. Then they find you a different job. Yeah. Probationary employees. Doge fired, and Judge William Alsup says, nope, you can't do that. And then next issue is another corrupt judge. 2 in a row. How about that? Corrupt Judge Amy Berman Jackson, Hussein Obama appointee. Once again, once you know that, you automatically know corrupt. Violated the Constitution when she declared Hampton Dellinger firing illegal. Article 2 violation. This year, Hampton Dellinger, part of a previous administration's employees, isn't really needed around these neck of the woods these days. So they were fired, and which is Article 2 says the president can fire anybody for any reason. Basically, that means for no reason at all. So Hampton Dellinger was fired, and corrupt Judge Amy Berman Jackson said you can't do that. Which, as I said, is in violation of the Constitution, Article 2. But we see a lot of these judges doing this violating the Constitution stuff. You know, that's sort of the whole reason we have case law. Because if we never had case law, then the only law we would have is constitutional law. And I don't know if y'all know, case law is just a judge's personal opinion. And if a judge's opinion does agree with the Constitution, then there would be no reason to use that judge's opinion. But in case law, these judges' opinions violate the Constitution one way or the other. It ends up a violation of our rights. There's a lot of case law out there. It ain't good. We move on to leftist protesters outside Tesla showroom in New York City are calling Elon a Nazi. I had reposted this snowflake It's a good word for him, snowflake. He's outside the Tesla showroom holding the sign up. I don't remember what the sign said. You got to go and follow me on True Social. Scroll down with it. I repost good stuff. Anyway, he's holding this sign out there, not liking all Elon. And this reporter comes up, asks him a question, and he says, "Oh, I'm too tired to answer questions." So, you're not too tired to stand out here in, they look like somewhat cold temperatures, but you're too tired to answer questions. But he did say it had something to do with a wave. So, I believe I recall the wave, and like, they take it's basically like taking uh, somebody's words out of context. Somebody's out there waving for like 20 minutes. Somewhere in there, that wave's going to end up looking like a Nazi salute. And that's sort of what they got. And these clowns, protesters, are using this short video slash picture as evidence that Elon is a Nazi. Yep, a wave. They're nuts. Kind of funny, but a little more nuts. Snowflakes at Google. Hey, check this out. I think I said a couple weeks ago about Google. They don't like Gulf of America. Well, the snowflakes at Google agreed to changing the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America and replace Mount McKinley because I don't know if anybody knows this, but that there clown by the name of Hussein Obama and a coup in Alaska changed the name of Mount McKinley to Denali in 2015. Denali. What were they trying to do? Advertise for General Motors because they had shitty sales? Nuts. But anyway, it's back to being Mount McKinley, which it never should have been changed. Anyway, short video. Like I said, I repost this stuff, so I'm just here to lighten you up to stuff that I seen, stuff that's pretty important. But you can go down there and scroll my thing and find this. I questioned it here because it's kind of odd. Did Lady Gaga record herself talking about housing children and harvesting adrenochrome? Was Lady Gaga acting? Is Lady Gaga actually doing this? Housing children? Because she said something about, in this video that you see that I reposted, she's saying something about keeping children upstairs in the hotel. And then she definitely used the word, I believe she used the word adrenochrome. But it was like multiple little videos here and there and pieced together. So it was like, But she does have pictures of herself with the panda eyes victims. So, not saying she's a very good person. That's all. A lot of information out there that makes her look like possibly child abuser, if you know what I mean. I don't always like my algorithm, but I gotta share. Doge cuts 1.4 billion with a B in animal testing. Animal testing. From Fauci. Fauci doing animal testing all around the world and stuff. $1.4 billion. And all of this stuff is annual. This ain't like what they've gotten for the last 10 years. No. $1.4 billion just break that up. If you were to give that $1.4 billion to 330 or 50 million, it's a couple bucks. But this animal testing stuff, a lot of it's done overseas because they already made too many animal activists here in the United States, and they haven't quite been able to make animal activists look like criminals yet. So they can't do too much of that here. They have to do a lot of it overseas. And that's where they like making up stuff like the China virus / COVID-19 anyway. Blame it on other countries. Oh, even though then they say they didn't do it. Oh, no, it didn't come from China. But animal testing. In other words, animal abuse. I've seen one article and it had something to do with testing what transgender mice, some, or it's like, I'm pretty sure mice aren't transgender, but they were trying to make mice transgender and then see if it like made them psychologically nuts or something. Poor mice. Oh, I know. Good thing they cut $1.4 billion from it. Now the mice and rats and monkeys can live a happy life. I retruthed another little video. A pastor reacts to Tom McDonald's Man in the Sky. So, one of Tom McDonald's many good songs. I talk about him here once in a while, and I seen somebody else that was reviewing his songs. So I figured I'd pass it along. And one more here, tidbit on the end. $151 million stolen from soldiers' meals at 11 Army bases. And instead they got toast and lima bean. Now, somewhat recently, whether it's been here or it's been on comments throughout the social webs there, I'm on Truth Social and Getter. But I've been bashing the helicopter crash in New York a couple weeks back. I believe our government officials, our people in charge of the military, aren't no better than Hillary Clinton or Hussein Obama. And they're doing bad stuff. See, they're caught right here. $150 million is stolen from the soldiers' meals. So the people that are left roaming around trying to make meals has to find something like toast and lima beans to serve the soldier at 11 different bases. So we have scumbags, multiple. One person does not steal $151 million. So multiple scumbags stealing our money and starving our soldiers. I have an odd feeling there's going to be more of this. And it's going to not just be about food, this is going to get bigger. Because these greedy people, they ain't going to be happy with 151 million. Just say it is one person per base, 11 bases. These greedy people ain't going to be happy with $151 million split 11 ways. Just say. But on that note, I'm out of notes. So that means the show is over. Hope you enjoyed the information. And there's more details on True Social and possibly Getter this week. But I believe it's all True Social. And I will see you next week.